While it was a dream that drove the civil rights movement over 50 years ago to move forward, today we can defer this dream of equality no longer.
You know, they did that in that manner so I wouldn't have a long speech for you. But after us being here tonight and enjoying all of the things that have happened thus far, I'm sure that you're all feeling very welcome here in the city of Peoria. Is that right? Is that right? After the workshops and everything that has gone on, of course, we appreciate having this Illinois state chapters of branches to meet here in Peoria. I just think that this should be your normal meeting place. We'd like to see you here, and of course, we hope that you come again. I thank you for being here tonight, and for those of you that are continuing to support the NAACP and the work. Sometimes we think that the work is over, that things have changed, and we only come to find out within our own branches that there's still so much work to be done. So we appreciate you being here tonight. We thank you for the work that you are doing, not only here in Peoria, but in your communities around the state and around the nation. We pray that tonight you feel welcome here, and please come again. Thank you.
Delighted to be here, and I was in fact here a year ago, not at this facility, but when we had the Peoria chapter NAACP, and I want to say at the outset that compliments of Pastor Teresa Deer on my right here, when I heard her speak within the last, 4 or 6 months ago at our Rock Island County chapter NAACP in Rock Island, and my good friend Lauren Lofton and Liz Sherwin and Berlinda Tyler Jameson, they educated me that a fellow who's an Irish American qualifies to be a member of the NAACP. I am now a member of the NAACP. The mission statement of the NAACP, I'm not going to refer to the whole mission statement, but the crux of it that I want to make reference to is that to ensure equality of and for minority groups of citizens, to ensure equality of and for minority groups of citizens. The reason I say that is to let you know that as the Chief Justice, my plan, my mission, and this has been my plan and my mission the whole time I've been on the court as a judge now for 10 years, and I've been a lawyer now for 30 years, is to make sure that everyone who comes into the courtroom walks in on a level playing field. Whether you're the carpenter or the CEO, the bricklayer, the banker, the farmer, the financier, you're entitled to justice. Because we have a phrase in our constitutional body that talks about equal justice for all, without regard to status, wealth, whether you're the powerfully connected, you don't get special treatment in the courtroom. At least that's my view. And how this makes a difference, and my good friend Don, I have to tell you, he has served now for 10 years with me on the Peoria Circuit Judicial Vacancy Screening Committee to help me decide who the qualified attorneys are in this community to be appointed as judges. And it wasn't until just a few weeks ago a good friend of Pastor Deer told me this, because I wasn't keeping count. But Vince Cornelius, who Pastor Deer says is going to be the first African-American governor in the state of Illinois, a good friend of mine, has been helping me on my campaign, and he told the parish congregation, the members at Rock of Ages in Maywood, that outside of Cook County, I have appointed the most African Americans in the state of Illinois as judges. And I'm not saying that to toot my horn. I'm just saying that I want you to remember that. And I want to tell you one other thing about my qualifications. And I'm looking for a laugh on this story when I tell you. I am first generation off the farm. My mother and father were both born and raised on farms. And every summer, I had to go to my grandfather Emmett's farm in a little town called Kinsman, just south of Morris, Illinois, off Interstate 80. And I would walk the bean fields. I would bale hay. And as Don has told me, don't forget, you're on the Illinois Supreme Court. You're going to be the Chief Justice, so you can't use this word. When I had to help my grandfather fertilize the fields the old-fashioned way with cow byproduct, if you know what I mean. It's a word that begins with S and ends with T. The more fancy word is manure. And when I was 10 years old, my grandfather stopped the tractor. I'm shoveling you know what into the manure spreader, and he says to me, Tommy, I don't know what you're going to grow up and be someday, but whatever you become, shoveling this blank is good experience for you.
Do you know who we are? PCCEO, helping people, changing lives for every stage of life.
My brothers and sisters, it is indeed an esteemed honor and pleasure to introduce your speaker tonight. He is an extraordinarily successful yet humble man. He is someone that I talk to and communicate with generally several times a week. He is someone that I admire tremendously and love like a brother. You must first know that even before he was born, while his mother was pregnant with him, his father was killed. And so he was raised by a single mother. You know, there are many excuses that some of us could have for not being successful. But let me go on and tell you about this man. He is a graduate of Morehouse College. He is a graduate of Princeton Theological Seminary. He is a member, a Diamond Life member of the NAACP. He is a trustee of the NAACP Special Contribution Fund, in addition to which he is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. Alpha Phi Alpha. Okay. He's a member of the Board of Trustees of Elmhurst College, and he's a member of the Democratic National Committee Business Council Leaders. Additionally, he's a member of Rainbow Push Trade Bureau and the Washington Board of Trade, just to name a few. Lamelle McMorris is a leader, a visionary, and a lifelong advocate who has leveraged his opportunities to continue to improve the conditions of our nation's communities. Lamelle McMorris is one of our nation's most fascinating and influential unsung young entrepreneurs in the United States. In 2002, listen, in 2002, what year is it now?
2010.
What year is it now?
2010.
In 2002, Lamelle McMorris started Perennial Strategy Group, a government affairs firm with just a telephone, a desk, and little experience in the field. But Lamelle was fueled by the same sheer determination that led him from the south side of Chicago to the halls of Congress. Lamelle's beginnings are as unconventional as his professional success. He is a former executive director and CEO of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and he has worked under the tutelage of great civil rights leaders such as the Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. and Al Sharpton, and McMorris's cousin, Rupert Richardson, a longtime NAACP activist. Lamelle McMorris desires to effect change, which dates back to a citywide walkout of Chicago schools that he led as a teenager, and has known no limit since. In just a few short years after starting the Perennial Strategy Group, Lamelle also launched Perennial Law Group and Perennial Sports and Entertainment. I don't think you all heard what I just said. In just a few short years. Just so everybody knows, I'm talking about this young brother right here. In just a few short years, McMorris also launched Perennial Law Group and Perennial Sports Entertainment. Under his leadership, Perennial Sports and Entertainment has quickly joined the select list of full-service sports agencies that has registered and represent both the NBA and the NFL. And I'd like to add a couple of personal things about Lamelle. He is the founder of the Rupert Richardson Memorial Scholarship Fund. He started that 2 years ago and funded it with $50,000 of his own money. You should know that he is on a first-name basis with the President of the United States of America, and is probably at the White House maybe every week or 2 weeks. When Ben Hooks passed away earlier in the year, actually it was over the summer, and we were struggling because we had to respond very quickly. It was Lamelle McMorris that provided private planes for the executive staff of the NAACP to get to Tennessee to put very, very critical affairs in order. I'm talking about this young brother right here. The people that we see on TV and admire, the people that we wish we had access to, are probably in his cell phone right now. I'm talking about the likes of Russell Simmons and Jay-Z and Carmelo Anthony. When I went to one of his events, it was an event for President Obama. It was an inauguration party for President Obama, and there at this event was, I'm talking about this young brother right here. There at this event was everyone from T.D. Jakes to you name the celebrity in this country. They were there because of Lamelle McMorris. And finally, you should know that he is a national philanthropist. He is the most generous and giving person I know. He mentors youth all over this country.